What seems clear, and what Powell also mentioned during his remarks, is you should not assume that there is another rate cut coming. Trump got a couple of rate cuts, which he's been demanding. It's funny because you really only demand rate cuts if the economy is struggling. Trump claims the economy is better than ever, and he's desperately demanding rate cuts. But one of the interesting things that Powell said is that in the near term, he thinks there's a risk of inflation going up and employment going down. And that is not a great combination for the economy.
In the near term, risks to inflation are tilted to the upside and risks to employment to the downside. A challenging situation. There is no risk-free path for policy as we navigate this tension between our employment and inflation goals.
This is a situation that could become stagflation. And if that happens, who do you think Donald Trump is going to blame? And who do you think workers are going to blame? So the big picture, as is often the case with the economy, and you don't need to play politics with this stuff. Some of what we are seeing has nothing to do with presidents one way or the other. There are global business cycles. There is seasonality. There are one-off events like COVID. There are changes to the maturity of certain markets. There are overarching factors that can affect regions, and there's not much a president can do about it. That has nothing to do with Biden. It has nothing to do with Trump. When you want to make a political assessment, you have to sort of exclude the things that have nothing to do with the president. It's sort of like, oh, gas prices were up and then they're down, and here's who was president. Okay, but unless we have a reason to say, here is why the president's actions were relevant to pricing, it's sort of a non-factor. What Trump is doing is he's lowering the supply of labor with the mass deportations. And he is also lowering demand for labor with the tariffs, which as companies lose profitability, they demand less labor. This isn't good for the economy overall. Those are not settings that will lead to a growing economy. And that's where we find ourselves, and it's not pointing in a good direction.